Hey everybody, thanks for watching. This is Q here from Ionti Trading. Today we're going to be talking about moving averages and resistance, and we're going to be breaking down the MJ harvest. A couple quick notes about the MJ harvest. We're looking at an entire ETF, so this means that this holds many different securities and people choose to invest in the ETF. One good thing about looking at the ETF is the fact that it tells you when there are times of major sell-offs or major buy-ins. So you're no longer looking at just a specific stock, now you're looking at an entire sector. So when you're able to identify times where the entire sector is being overbought or oversold, you can determine when you should go in or get out, or at least be hazardous of what your next move is. So I like to personally look at MJ for marijuana, triple Q for technology. Those are my main two that I look at. You can choose to see what you usually invest in. If you find yourself investing a lot in the medical field, go ahead and try to find a good ETF to invest in or try to trade on or look at to see when the major sell-offs or buy-ins are going to happen. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to cover are moving averages. So these two moving averages that I have right here are the 50-day and the 100-day moving average. The most popular are probably going to be anywhere between 10, 20, 10, 20 being for short-term traders, so within the same day. And then there's long-term traders looking at 50, or mid-term are looking at 50 and 100. And then long-term are mainly looking at that 200-day moving average. So moving averages tell you an estimated move, so it just gives you a smoother line of the overall market in terms of where's the market headed. Is it in an uptrend or a downtrend? Because sometimes just looking at the stock chart itself is not enough. So you add moving averages. Mine right here are set to 50 and 100. So for 50 and 100, we're going to take a look at the white line first, which is the 50-day moving average. As you can see, the stock has been mostly trending underneath the white line, which means it's been a downtrend. And as soon as it broke above it, the stock rallied. So you want to look for these moving average breakouts because a lot of traders do use these often. So the best way to find a moving average breakout would probably be having two moving averages on the same chart and waiting for something that we called a crossover. So right now, as you can see, most recently, this is the ETF of MJ, so Marijuana Alternative Harvest. So you can see the most recent move by it is a rally, so it's been rallying in a bullish position, and it did so right after it broke through that white line. Now remember, the white line wasn't drawn before, so that's why moving averages are a lagging indicator. They're not on time. So that means you want to take advantage of these breakouts because they are often very positive and they move in a very quick bullish position. So as long as the MJ harvest holds above that white line and has that enough volume, then you know it's going to be safe to hold. As soon as it crosses under the white line, that's the time when I would personally get out of the stock. So I mentioned crossover, but crossovers indicate when the moving average is also going to switch direction, or where the stock is going to have a reversal. So it recently crossed up. The reason this crossed is because the 100-day is actually a smoother line than the 50-day moving average. So at times of huge rallies and huge sell-offs, you're going to see these cross, and what traders are looking for next is for it to cross under. So when it crosses under, it acts as a resistance line, so the stock won't move above it. Right now it's acting as a support, so the stock is not going under it. As long as it keeps hitting it, it will stay above it. And so let's see how that works. So if we're looking at this white line right over here, the 50-day moving average, you can see that the stock tried to go above it, but it often failed. As you can see right over here, it did go above, but it did not have enough volume to keep moving it up. So that's another thing we want to talk about, is volume. So volume I want to cover on resistance and support. So as you can see right here, the stock most recently broke above this very important threshold that led it to make an actual higher high, or what looks like to be is going to be a higher high. The stock had a resistance line at this very point right here, and so it was important for most traders to look for this key area right over here. So as soon as the stock broke above that threshold, you could see that the stock continued to rally. So you could see that huge bump in volume right as soon as the stock broke over that area. It consolidated a little bit right over here, which is normal. It's normal for a pullback to happen right after a breakout, and then followed by a huge breakout. It looks like the stock is going to keep going up. You can see a huge buy-in. However, you could see that the RSI is way too high on the ETF here that we're looking at, which means that the stock is technically overbought. So the market probably is reacting on news, it's reacting on some kind of hype event, therefore the stocks are rallying. But it is going to have a pullback, and that's guaranteed on any market. Anytime something goes up that quickly, it will go back down. The next thing we're looking for as day traders or any long-term investor, they want to see if this rally is going to result in a higher high. So if it results in a high that looks something like this, let's draw it out. If it looks anything like this, then we know that the stock is starting to move in an upward direction altogether. However, if it falls and dips below this line, then expect it to have a strong bearish move. So the next key line we're looking for is either going to be a pullback right around here somewhere, and the stock will likely push itself back up around here, or the stock will fall and it will continue to fall as soon as it breaks this support line that's acting as its major support right now. I hope this was helpful, guys. If you have any other questions or any other topics that you'd like me to cover, go ahead and reach out to me. Please subscribe to this channel because I will be uploading more videos as the year moves on. So thanks again for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or anything in specific that you'd like me to cover.